behind the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
What more could you ask for, ladies and gentlemen? Cass Tech Renaissance PSL Championship here at Wayne State alongside Kia Chambers. My name is Tom Cavanaugh, and we are set for a good one. A rematch of I don't even know how many years, talking to head coach Ramona Cox of Cass Tech and Lewis Mitchell of Renaissance. This has been a storied rivalry between the two. Cox used to play for Mitchell at Renaissance back in the day. 11-13-1 come the Technicians, and a 24-10-4 Renaissance Phoenix. Kia, you know this matchup well. I got to call it last year. Renaissance 1-3. It's going to be another great one.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever's going to win this game has to be consistent and disciplined. I think those are going to be two of the top things that they need to win. Consistency in serving, attacking, and disciplined enough on defense to know where to adjust and where to go to block the hitters. Things like that are really what's going to make the difference in this game today.
We just wrapped up the consolation match. Congratulations to Detroit Western for toppling Academy of Americas. But now it's time for our championship match. 9-1 in the PSL are the Cass Tech Technicians, getting their names called right now, and a perfect 10-0 for head coach Lewis Mitchell in his 35th season, with Detroit Renaissance.
Yeah, pretty strong programs on both ends, a lot of consistency within coaches. Girls always want to go to the schools. Their volleyball program has been strong since I was in high school 2 years ago.
Renaissance being called out now. Several returners for this team. You look up and down the Renaissance roster, not one freshman on it. You're looking at 6 juniors, 4 sophomores, and the rest seniors. This is a veteran group. Cass Tech on the other end as well. They've lost a few from last season, but still a pretty veteran group under Ramona Cox.
Yep. Some of these girls have been together for a few years on varsity, haven't won a city championship yet, so hopefully they're hungry and ready to go.
And Kia, yourself, very good relationship with head coach Ramona Cox of Cass, so you know a lot of their girls as well, and several on Renaissance's side. Coaching outside of Henry Ford College, where you're the head coach of at your third year, and paying attention to PSL action. I mean, you've been coaching some of these girls in club volleyball since they were 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, definitely. A few girls on Renaissance we've had with us since they were just starting out playing volleyball. And then a lot of the girls in the city do go to the camps that we have as a part of the Detroit Volleyball Coaches Association. We do a lot within the city to have these camps to just progress the game of volleyball. And you can see now within the past years, all the fans, all the girls that we have from the team as they're going around. And now those both teams are running through their tunnels of JV and freshman players. You can just see the support and how much the sport has grown throughout the years.
I mean, this place is packed, and that's an understatement. I mean, every single seat on our side of the gym is completely full. Cass Tech and Renaissance. It was like this last year at Detroit Mumford High School. Renaissance took that in 3 sets. Brooklyn Williams and company were able to get it done. And they're going to try for another one.
Yep, and Renaissance has graduated several key seniors from their team last year. So we'll see what they can do with a new set of players out here, especially their setter. They used to rely on their setter a lot at Renaissance.
We'll get into the starters in just a moment here at Wayne State. Cass Tech's in their black jerseys with the white and green block letters, white names on the back. And for Renaissance, it's the maroon and navy blue kind of changing colors accented on the no sleeves with the I guess the
yeah, they're
sleeves
tank
as well,
tops with yep, tank tops.
I don't know
with
how to describe
sleeves.
the
Yep.
jerseys there.
Yep, the tank
shooting
top.
sleeves, but they're not shooting.
Yep, for the passing sleeves. A lot of NCAA teams have gone with that look in the past couple years.
These are starters for Renaissance: Mariah Jackson, Amina Basil, Jayla Turner, Chanel Wimberly, Brooklyn Williams, Samantha Robinson, and Kiara Johnson. On the other end for Cass Tech, we have Autumn Howard, John A. Smith, Jamie Smith, Zoe Pitt, Tiana Matthews, Amia Coates, and Lauren Edwards. Zoe Pitt, she was on JV for a lot of this year, was brought up towards the end. Number 11 is going to play a big part today.
Yep, and when you get brought up from JV, especially at these games towards the end of the season, that means that you're progressing the way that you want it to be. As a coach in high school, you want your JV players to be able to come up to varsity with roles.
Renaissance will get the ball first. They are the home team. 10-0 in PSL Conference Championship play this year, and we're underway. Overpass quickly, and a point for Renaissance right off the bat on a net violation.
They got to make sure they keep those passes off the net. Renaissance has a pretty big front row.
It's number 10, Kiara Johnson, libero on the right side for Renaissance. Cass Tech got to get it over in 3 after a shanked first touch. Here's Rennie now. Set up. Fake hit with the other hand. Jayla Turner gets it over. And a big swing out of play. Jamie Smith went for it, could not find the back line. More time Smith. Over the blocker hands, but too deep.
Yeah, it looks like she was just trying to go over that block. Sometimes you want to get in a rhythm and start off with a couple good reaches and snaps like we were saying at the beginning of the other game, just to get in the rhythm with the new gym.
Cass cannot keep that in play. It just continued to trickle onto the far side. The Renaissance making a statement up 3-0 early.
Key thing is getting that third ball over.
Samantha Robinson, jump serve. Sends it towards the middle. Here comes a swing. Stopped. Kept up. The lefty kill from Brooklyn Williams.
Brooklyn Williams coming out strong with that great hit from the right side. Good contact. She gets through the block. Looks like the block wasn't pressed completely over the net, so she was able to get through.
4-0 Renaissance early in our first set. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, 25 points each set, win by 2. If we go to a fifth, it's to 15, again, win by 2. Samantha Robinson controlling serve for the entire match so far. This is set up, blocked at the front partially. Renaissance will have it back. Running start, left right-hand swing from Amina Basil, and it rolls back on the tape. First point of the night for the technicians.
And then against a team like Renaissance, you don't want to count on them to make mistakes. You want to make sure that you get your own points by attacking or tipping, as well as serving well.
Blocked by Cass, stays on the Renaissance side. Here comes the set from Robinson. The swing from Williams stays in the air. Blocked again by Cass. Another good set. Basil to tip it over. What a rally.
They're covering really good on Renaissance. They're not letting anything hit the floor right now.
John A. Swift to get it over. Back row hit out of play. And this gym is live. 4-2 Cass back-to-back points.
Looks like Sam Robinson was going for just a different look, setting up the back row and just long. But looks like that serve from Cass goes out of bounds. Renaissance serve.
(5-2) jump serve coming from Amina. Here's a quick set. The swing is dug out. That time Jamie Smith had it. Back to Cass. Up 5-2 are the Phoenix. And John A. Swift unable to keep that in play. Went for the two-hand tip to the corner.
Yep, and it's just far out. She had Renaissance scrambling. It just didn't land in the court.
Basil keeps service, leading by 4. There's Autumn Howard, the libero, with the first touch. Now Swift got to get it over. She will. Nice dig. Basil again. Here comes the setup. Roll shot from Mariah Jackson is good.
Down that deep line. Middle back has to rotate over and take that. Taylor Salter just a little late on that ball.
Mariah Jackson, the sophomore outside hitter. Didn't do too much. She just found the right corner. Leading by 5 to open up our contest. PSL Championship once again between Cass Tech and Renaissance. A swing is short from Jamie Smith.
And sometimes the ball isn't set high enough for you to contact it, or you're just late. Looks like here she just contacted the ball a little low below the net.
Head coach Ramona Cox and the technicians will take a timeout, and so will we. 8-2, first set. Renaissance on top from the PSL Championship on the prep.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Big shout out to our sponsor tonight, Sapino Pizzeria, your go-to destination for New York-style pizza. Visit our flagship located in the historic Eastern Market or on Wordwood and Milwaukee at our new center location. Come by for a slice at Sapino Pizzeria. Amina Basil again to serve.
It's a good pass.
Early lead for Renaissance. There goes Williams. Tried to go cross court, out of play. Cass Tech picks up a big point to cut it to 5.
Yep, and Cass has got to capitalize on points like that. If they swing out, you got to get at least 1 or 2 points off of a ball. Looks like a slow transition with what's going on right now. Not sure. Looks like we have 7 on the court from Cass. Now it's 5. Now 6 back on the court from Cass.
Jamie Smith had to come out. Tiana Matthews will come back in. It'll be Autumn Howard, the libero, to serve it up. Left to right across your screen. We have an extra moment of pause before we get back to it.
Wondering if they're running a different lineup today because of the stakes. Trying something different to see if it works. They've played them before in the season. Wasn't able to come up with the win.
It's a good point. Renaissance did sweep Cass earlier this year, 3-0. So got to make an adjustment depending on what they brought out in the front 6 to start that game. And immediately Howard hits one into the net. Service error makes it 9-3 Rennie.
Yeah, and at this point, I think Cass has about 2 missed serves, especially when teams are going on a run. You got to make your serve so you can go on a run, too. Volleyball is a game of runs.
Kiara Johnson, the opposite libero with the serve, tipping it to the middle. That's off the hands of Brooklyn Williams. Now the outside hit, out of play, Amina Basil.
Renaissance hits are all going long right now. It could be the difference in the depth of the court, but if they can get those hits to start falling, it'll look like a different game.
Another substitution as Lauren Edwards comes out and in to serve Vivian Walker.
Let's hope she gets this one in.
Strong serve to the middle. There's a setup for Williams with the left hand, finds it on the tip.
Nice tip right over that block. If you're right behind the block, you gotta watch those tips. She goes up, extends right behind the block, and you can see how deep that libero Autumn Howard is. Really hard to get those balls. Oh, looks like they overturned the call. Looks like someone was under the net. Looks like number 8 on Renaissance, Brooklyn Williams, under the net is what they called. Ball going to Cass Tech.
So our down ref there, Jerry Jackson making the call. And a service error. That gives the point right back.
As they'll say ball don't lie.
Yep.
That's probably how Renaissance is feeling right now.
Williams is dug out quickly and batted down, kept in the air. Swift. It's blocked again on that short free ball. Running start, cross-court shot, unable to come up with it, Amia Coates.
Looks like Renaissance has their tallest player, Jayla Stevens, in the court now. She's in the middle. That's where they're getting a lot of those block touches from.
Vivian Walker with that first hit. Now goes John A. Rolls off the hands of both Williams and Kira Johnson. Nice kill there from John A.
That's what they got to start doing. Cass has got to get some kills in. They got to get some swings. Got to get the ball up and be able to attack and get kills out of system.
Swift will now serve, trailing by 5. First set in our PSL championship. It was Renaissance in 3 sets last year. This has been a matchup that is in storybook, historic between these two teams playing in this game every single year. Swift finds a service ace. Puts it down low on the libero, Kira Johnson.
Crowd lit up when Janae got that ace.
There's a fair share of Renaissance fans here, but when Cass gets a point, I mean, you can feel the energy in the building.
Definitely, they're stomping, they're yelling.
Rennie trying to silence that, and they do. Mariah Jackson hammers one.
Nice swing from Jackson.
Near side, outside hitter going cross court right there. Full running start, splits the blockers, and no chance right there for Swift to keep that up.
Blockers have got to make sure that they close that block so that the hitters can't go in between them.
Swift to set. And a whistle, point Renaissance.
Double contact on Swift. Yep, so when they go up to set the ball, it has to be a clean contact when they contact it.
(13-7). And make it 14-7. Renaissance doubling up the scoreboard right now. Once again, Mariah Jackson finds an ace.
And it just looks like serve receive. They've got to get a better serve receive pass on Cass's end. They haven't been able to get those balls up.
Jackson again towards that back line. First touch from Howard. Here comes the set. Swift is blocked. That was Lauren Edwards, I'm sorry, on the attack. Blocked regardless. On the roll shot, unable to get it over as Amina Basil there.
It was smart. She saw an open spot, just wasn't able to put it down. She was going for that 4, that short cross. Just didn't land.
Still controlling by 6 of the Phoenix. Short service from Tiana Matthews, out of play, make it another ace for the Technicians.
And they're back in it. 5 points away. Let's see if Tiana Matthews can get a run with her serves.
Could be an overpass here, it will be. Does it stay in play? Oh my. Cass thought that was staying on Rennie's side, and it didn't. It was a perfect overpass chance, just weren't looking for that.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like she went up to block it, but she just missed it. It went in between her body and the net.
Phoenix get one back. Swift unable to get there in time after the shanked first touch. That was Amia Coates.
Serve receive passes have got to get better. They've got to get up high enough, at least so the setter can go ahead and get a ball.
Got to have time to recover underneath the volleyball. When it's just shot out side to side or popped up weakly, unless it's right next to the setter, there's no real chance for them to get there in time to put something in the air.
Definitely, especially when you have a setter that's not 5 feet. They got to get some height to it so they can put the ball up.
Calling for it there was Vivian Walker. Swift now sets, and here's a kill.
There we go.
Jamie Smith goes cross court.
Good swing from Jamie Smith. She's missed a couple long. Now she's gonna hopefully start putting them down in the into the court.
16-10, first set. Best 3 out of 5 in our PSL championship. Lewis Mitchell, Ramona Cox, storied rivalry between these two.
Number 7, Taylor Salter, back to serve for Cass Tech.
She'll send one to the corner, just out of play. Not by much. Shout out to our line judge over there, tiptoeing out of the way.
Tough break. Let's see that replay. Slowing it down, just outside that line.
Here goes Samantha Robinson once again. She went on a little bit of a stretch to start our match.
Yep, first server of the match.
Swift, she'll try to set to the middle. Recovering backwards was Salter. Here's a chance for Skylar Hobson, and it's batted away. Number 2, Chanel Wimberly came down with that one.
Yep. Chanel Wimberly is long also. She may not have that same height, but you can see she gets over the net really well. Her and Amina.
Second bump set, they got to get it over on a free ball. Barely do. Saving the play was Kiara Johnson. Wow.
Nice play. That's what you like to see your libero doing, sacrificing their body for balls like that.
Renaissance wins the point. Lewis Mitchell frustrated with his group because they were a little out of position, but still give credit to Kiara Johnson for saving that point, and then for Samantha Robinson to finish.
Yeah, definitely. Liberos are supposed to be able to make the crazy plays to keep that ball going on your side.
9-point advantage now for Renaissance. Getting it over is Hobson. Set up quickly to the corner. Chanel Wimberly leaves it a little deep.
Swings out, but even with all the missed swings, Renaissance is still doing enough to stay ahead. They're doing a better job at serve, receive, and serve right now to make a difference in this game.
And they're doing a much better job at the net as well. I mean, there's been 3 or 4 50-50 balls that have been towards the middle of the net, and Renaissance has won them all.
Definitely.
Cross-court swing there for Basil, and unable to get it over is John A. Smith. Mistimed the jump just a tad, and it falls on the tape. 20-11 Renaissance.
Renaissance has 5 points to finish out the game. Let's see what they can do.
Amina Basil, the junior. Jump serve towards the middle. Floats one in. There's Salter on that first. Keeping it up in the air, Renaissance. That was number 8, Brooklyn Williams.
Taylor Salter with the dig, up there in trouble. Can they send that third one over? Up.
Free ball for Williams. She'll roll one to the middle.
Brooklyn Williams has been pretty consistent. She's getting out, she's getting up there to get swings.
Watch out. Hobson able to make a play. Towards the corner, too strong, Renaissance.
Swing and goes out. Always got to be tough when you've had just a great volley like that. You've been playing defense. and you're down already. Looks like a timeout is going to be called.
Mariah Jackson sends one into the chin of Taylor Salter, and Renaissance takes a 10-point lead late in set number 1. We'll step aside, 45 seconds, come back. This is your home for the Prep PSL Championship when we come back.
First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
There's Brooklyn Williams and Chanel Wimberly, along with Mariah Jackson as well, and alongside Kia Chambers, I'm Tom Cavanaugh from the PSL Championship here on the Prep. Renaissance and Cass Tech, it's a 10-point lead for Rennie. They're still serving late in the first set.
Let's see how they finish this set.
And that's how you started after a timeout. Jamie Smith splits the defense.
Great swing from Jamie Smith. They need a lot more out of her if they're going to get any production out of their offense.
Side out goes to Autumn Howard. To the opposite libero. Here's a setup. Wow! Chanel Wimberly! And this place is revved up right now. Oh my.
And you got to give the passer some credit for that swing, because without having a good pass on the money like that, setter wouldn't be able to run that quick play like she did. Chanel Williams goes up for that kill.
Perfectly put right there. I mean, she had to have the set go so high for her to be able to jump out of the gym and still have that downward angle. Because if that set's a little lower, she doesn't get that trajectory down on the floor.
Definitely. And that's what makes the ball go out.
Creeping up to set point for Renaissance here in number 1, 23-12. It'll be Johnson now. To the middle on a floater. Going for it, John A. Smith. Got to get it over Howard. Free ball for Renaissance. They're going to set things up. Bump set for Jackson. Roll shot is short. Didn't quite set it up like I expected them to on the free ball.
Yeah, sometimes a little miscommunication on the free ball. That's what ends up happening. And right now they can give or take a ball or two swinging out. Just fix that communication and they'll be fine.
23-13. Vivian Walker just checked in. She will now serve once again for the second time tonight. Nice serve towards that corner, kept up in the air. Rennie gets it over. Diving for it, Walker to dig it out. Set up for John A. Swift, partially blocked, kept in the air. One more time for Jackson.
Nice. John A. Swift and Amia Coates up there for the block.
Set a little bit too close to the net. I mean, you gave Mariah Jackson almost no room to make a play right there, as she was crashing into the net and had to just get a piece.
Definitely, and John A. Swift made sure that it wasn't going to come over, even if she tried.
Brooklyn Williams with the big swing, blocked up front. Calling for it, making the play, Tiana Matthews. Here's a setup to the corner, up and out of play, off the hands of Walker.
Another good pass from the defense, smart setting decision, and the middles are always there. They're doing a great job of following their setter so that they can run something quick when the pass is along the net.
Well done from Jayla Turner, junior, middle blocker at 6 foot, tallest on the floor amongst both teams. Set point, up by 10 is Renaissance. Swift partially blocked. Rennie will set it up. Mariah Jackson for the set. Swift a second touch. Walker gets it over. One more crack at it for the Phoenix, and they got it. Off the hands of Amia Coates. No, sorry. Point Cass Tech.
Looks like Cass gets the point. Looks like there wasn't a touch from anyone.
It was all tape. They immediately called Amia Coates for the tip, and they changed the call quickly. So instead of up 1-0 in sets for Renaissance, it's 24-15 Johnny Swift will serve for Cass. And she leaves it short, and that's the end of the first set.
Cass has definitely got to pick it up with their serving and their serve receive if they are expecting to win this match. Not a lot of movement from their serve receivers when they're going to pass. Not a good job of not getting their serves over.
Renaissance swept this game last year, trying to do it again. They take a 1-0 set lead as we head to 2 here on the Prep.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
One, two, three, wait.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
(25-15), end of set 1. Here you see Lewis Mitchell in his 35th season with the Renaissance Phoenix. He's trying to pick up another PSL championship as he did last year against this same opponent. And Kia, what did you like from Renaissance in that first set? Really dominating on all facets of the game.
Yeah, definitely. All the parts were working together. They were able to get passes on serve receive. Setters were setting good balls, and we got some good kills from our hitters. In addition to when they're blocking, they're getting some good touches on their blocks. Even though they're not stuff blocks, you still want to be able to slow those balls down so that your defensive players can have an easier time of picking them up.
On the Cass side, we saw some good things from John A. Swift, Jamie Smith as well, Tiana Williams, Amia Coates. It's too much firepower right now on this Renaissance side. They have 3 or 4 different hitters that are really bringing it to the technicians right now. So kind of like what we saw from Academy of Americas in set 2 after they were dominated early. They made an adjustment. They were able to win set 2, tie things up, and this is exactly what Cass needs to do right now.
Definitely, definitely. There's still a chance because like you mentioned earlier, game starts off 0-0, so we're even keel here to start it off. Still potentially 5 matches to go.
We were talking at the break. It's very different. Besides maybe tennis, every other sport has a consistent score that stays without a contest. Now, obviously, there's scores within sets, but when you start a new one, you're up at 0-0. It's a blank slate, and the team that either won or lost, they can forget about it and move on to the next.
Yep. Looks like we have a new player in for Cass Tech, Kennedy Hobson, number 12.
sister of Skylar Hobson. And number 12 on that far side, there you see her, along with Lauren Edwards on the near side. 1-0 Renaissance, they get the first point to start. There's Amina Basil again on the service. First touch off the hand of Amia Coates. And there goes Lauren Edwards into the net. Kind of a little awkward on that swing there. It was more on the inside when she wanted it out near her right hand.
Yep, and that's just when as a hitter you gotta adjust to what set you're given.
Basil controlling service. Coates shanks that to the right. Barely getting it over. Well done, Kennedy Hobson. Wow. Mariah Jackson just put one in the face mask of Cass Tech. That's a strong swing right there. And
definitely, she cut it really sharp. Right there where the defense was. Defense wasn't ready for it.
3-0 Rennie, make it 4. Coates has had trouble with those serve receives over the course of this beginning of the second set. And it's showing right now.
Yep, looks like they're going to have a sub come in for her back row. We're going to take her out of serve receive, but ended up just subbing her instead.
It'll be Miriam Hurtado Medina into the middle on the back.
Let's see what Miriam can come in and do.
They go right to her, and she shoots that straight away back to the wall. 5-0 back-to-back service aces. It's all Renaissance right now, and the serve receive has to get better for Cass.
Yep. Right now they're just angling to the ball at Cass. They gotta angle, they gotta step, then angle. You gotta get your feet to the ball, then you gotta create the angle with your pass second.
There's Autumn Howard on the receive. That's a good one. Up in the air, set up by Samantha Robertson, got over. Here comes Cass. Blocked.
See if she can go again, Jamie Smith.
One more chance, Robinson's gonna set it up. There goes Raquel Canada. And a point for Cass as it's short.
Into the net, but that's fine. You want players to be able to take swings like that. When it's a good set, when your feet are there, go ahead and swing away. Just a little outside her body so it rolled down the front of the net.
Raquel Canada and Brooklyn Williams, both lefty outside hitters. It'll be Vivian Walker now to serve for Cass on the side out. And a service ace right back for the technicians. That looked to be off the hands of Basil. Right by our cameraman Corey Easterling on that far side.
Let's see if she can get another serve.
Jump serve from Walker to that corner, Basil. And it's going to be a whistle.
Looks like they're just gonna call a replay. R2 wasn't ready, she was still at the table. R2 is important because R2 is the one that watches the net touches under the net. So she doesn't watch the ball, R1 watches the ball. R2 watches the players, making sure the setter isn't leaving when they adjust on serve receive before the ball is served, and if people are in the net or under the net. Looks like now it may be a potential out of rotation. Maybe Cass Tech has had the incorrect server. We'll find out in a moment, depending on what that up ref signals.
Seemed as if Walker had served not too long ago. I'm going to give a huge shout out to all 4 of our officials today. Eric Law, who's the up judge, Jerry Jackson down low, and along with Michael Hunt and Bertha Smiley on the lines.
Yep, so looks like they have a lot of subs going in, trying to get this rotation right.
Renaissance not wasting a moment to keep the tempo high. Have a 1-set lead and a 5-2 lead here in number 2. It was a 25-15 finish to open up our match. Renaissance won this last year over at Detroit Mumford High School. They swept Cass Tech.
And hopefully Cass is hoping the same thing doesn't happen. Still unsure what's going on down on the floor. They're trying to figure out the rotations now.
And Coach Lewis Mitchell, as we mentioned, 35th season, part of the PSL Blue Division. Graduated Kettering High School, went to Oakland University, and he's been the heart and soul of not only Renaissance volleyball over the course of the last 3 decades, but all of Detroit volleyball in the club scene as well.
Yeah, Lewis Mitchell is currently in the MHSAA Hall of Fame. Got inducted via MIFCA a few years ago for his prolonged history at Renaissance.
There's Ramona Cox in her 14th season. So these two coaches have been battling it out the last near 15 years. And Ramona actually played for Coach Mitchell back when she was at Renaissance in the early 90s. Played Division I over at University of Michigan in the late 90s. And she's got 24 overall collegiate players that have played at Cass Tech. That is just, it speaks to her ability to coach up these players and the type of talent that Cass Tech brings in on an annual basis.
Yeah, seems about 2 players a year, it seems like, able to go and play at that next level in college.
She also played semi-pro football for 11 years with the Detroit Demolition. That was awesome hearing about that when we were getting info and stuff before the match. But we got a timeout on our hands. We're going to keep it here, as there's more conversation to be had. I haven't seen a stall out like this in a volleyball match in quite some time. So they have to be looking at the rotation and kind of just remembering where they were at.
Yeah,
that's my guess. And
normally between the R2 and the table, they're able to figure it out pretty quickly. Sometimes you get a delayed game, a yellow card for what happens, but that's why Cass Tech probably called that timeout so that they wouldn't get that delay of game, and just kind of to reset their heads to, if it was a mental error to where someone served or we are not subbing correctly, to just kind of ask where are our heads at so that we can make sure that we're not losing points over something that small, especially against a good team like Renaissance.
She'll be back to play in a moment. It's 6-1. Renaissance on top here in set 2. They have a 1-0 advantage in the sets. Just waiting for the final thoughts before we get back to action.
And they're probably looking also to make sure that if Cass did get any points, they got any points off that wrong server, those points should go to Renaissance. But with the score being being 1, there weren't any points that Cass has won off that incorrect server. I think now they're just double checking where everybody is.
On the floor for Cass is Tiana Matthews, John A. Swift, Lauren Edwards, along with Autumn Howard, Miriam Hurtado Medina, and also Jamie Smith.
Got a little chant from Renaissance's bench and their JV team behind their bench, keeping the spirit lively.
Got to bring the energy during the downtime.
Definitely.
It's when the air kind of gets sucked out of the building for, a little bit of a pause, as we could say, and you just got to keep that up. And Renaissance, they're going to do that, especially with their illustrious history of winning PSL championships, going deep into district, regional, and state finals.
Very true.
We have almost distributed a volleyball to Renaissance to serve. Almost. Fans, make sure to follow us on all social media handles over at TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, where you're watching this game right now. Join our sponsorship team today. Contact us at info@theprepsports.com. That's info@theprepsports.com. Follow us all year long, covering Metro Detroit high school sports. And also some Motor City Cruise G League. Chad Bush, Evan Stockton and company going to be on the call all season long. 7-1's the score. Here's a left hand from John A. Swift that was batted down. We're back to play. Feels good.
Yep, Jayla Turner big at that net.
Calling for it is Howard. Tiana Matthews has to get it over there, and it's out of play. The court awareness She was in play, but where she was angling that ball, I think she wasn't sure on where that was in reference to the bench and the out.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get it in the middle of the court, especially if your team was in trouble. Not going to send it over.
Just set up. Unable to convert was Lauren Edwards as she's blocked by the net. It's all Renaissance here in set 2, 9-1.
Cass has got to get something going fast. And it's got to start off with this serve-receive pass. We got to get a pass somewhere where the setter is going to go.
Serve gets over, diving for it was Howard. She can't get there. Check that, that was Hurtado Medina, and it shanks out of play. First to 10 is Renaissance, and we've only played 11 points. Once again, Kiera Johnson holds serve.
Yep, and that speaks to how Kiera is serving. You can tell that she's serving with a purpose, not just to anyone. She's serving seams, which are balls in between two players, so that they got to communicate on what's going on. One person can't just go or balls that hit the floor like they've been.
11-1's the score, just getting over the top of the tape. Here's a swing, nearly out of play from Lauren Edwards. Set up. Free ball can't be had. That was Jayla Turner. It looked like she got swiped by her own player when she tried to go up with that.
Yeah, it looks like Samantha Robinson went just right past her legs when she was going to go and free that ball over. They both talk about it and laugh it off.
We mentioned it in our last broadcast before at our 5:30 consolation game. Volleyball's such a mental game. Even on a misplay like that, you just got to forget about it and move forward.
Definitely. And hopefully Kennedy and Autumn Howard looks like they're in the backcourt having some fun, hopefully trying to lift each other's spirits so they can get out this rut.
There's a setup, cross-court kill is good. How about Raquel Canada with the left hand? 12-2, a 10-point lead sustained here from Detroit Renaissance. One more look at the kill. Great back set by Robinson.
And it sounds like the Renaissance team were yelling she's a freshman. Is that true?
That would be true.
Oh.
She is the lone freshman on this Renaissance team.
So it looks like they have a couple years for her to continue to progress. It's a great swing from her.
5'8" setter, outside hitter. Raquel Canada came up big. Another point for Renaissance. Makes it 14-2, and she's holding serve with the best of them.
Yep. As a freshman on a varsity team your first year, and to be playing in a game like this, it just speaks to the kind of athlete that she is.
Overpass batted down and away, and Vivian Howard sends it the wrong way. 15-2.
This game is getting outside of Cass Tech right now. 13 points. They got to stop these servers now. They're letting each server go on runs, 7 and 8 points on a run. That's what we can't have.
Canada's going to set this one. Roll shot came from Mariah Jackson, kept up for Cass. Tiana Matthews. She'll hit one towards that corner. Basil, she set up her tip. Matthews one more time. She's going to attack, out of play. Point Renaissance. They're up by 14 in set 2.
Renaissance just has to keep doing what they're doing. It looks like Coach Mitchell is telling them maybe to speed up the sets. They get that pass, especially when you have a freshman there. You don't want to stop what you're doing. You want your freshman setter to get in there and get some experience.
It's a bump set from Kennedy Hobson. Sent back over, double block from Renaissance. They're not letting anything short get by and unable to hammer it home. That was number 4, Mariah Jackson. Nice job from John A. Swift to be there.
But that's how you want them to be. You want them to be aggressive.
Blocked by the net, but even having John A.'s presence there was a big reason why that didn't get over.
Yep.
Swift will now serve. Down by 13, midway through our second set.
Nice flat serve from John A. Swift. Autumn Howard with the pass.
There's Tiana Matthews. This one's up in the air. Out of play, and a point for the technicians.
Good swing. That's what we got to see more out of Cass Tech. More bump set spike. They have hitters that can hit the ball, and they just got to get that ball up so the hitters can't hit.
There it is again, Matthews. Gets a piece of the hand of Basil. 16-4, Renaissance gonna come right back again with a kill.
Looks like Jayla Turner, junior from Renaissance, with that kill in the middle.
She's had a few of those to stymie runs from Cass Tech today.
Yep.
One earlier back in the first set when Cass took a lead. They went about 4 or 5 in a row, and Turner just shut it down.
Yep, and she definitely has a presence in the middle as well. She's been getting a lot of block touches, slowing those balls down for her defense.
Amara Jennings has now checked in for Cass Tech. She's at the front of the net. 17-4 is your score. Swift sets it up. Here comes an attack out of play, not by much. That was Skylar Hobson who tried to shoot the corner.
And a swing of a miss, just out. Looks like she goes up a little bit behind the ball and goes slightly out the back line.
That's the difference. I mean, less than an inch of being behind the head or out in front is going to determine if that's in play or not.
Definitely. Got to make sure when you're attacking, you're getting on top of the ball.
Renaissance controlling this second. Tip over. Getting there is Johnson. Second dig is good. That's going to be 4 touches. Give credit to Kiara Johnson for diving near the ladder there to keep that in play.
And it's those hustle plays. Even though they're up by 13 points now, they're still hustling for every ball, even if it doesn't go over.
Lewis Mitchell, he's not going to allow his team to do anything else. Canada sets it up. Basil tips to the middle, and there goes John A. Smith trying to tip it to the back and just misfired. Too strong that time.
It was a good idea, though. They were still in transition. Nobody was ready, but just a little too far outside. That's a good pass. Let's see what they can do.
Swift sets it a little bit behind the hands of Jennings there. And unable to come up with it was Shondell Wimberly. Another point for Cass, but it could be too little too late in this second as it's 19-6.
Yeah, definitely Cass has got to find some offense from somewhere.
Tato Medina in to serve for the Technicians. Stays on the ground with this one. Johnson, she'll tip it up to Canada. And the attack is blocked.
Nice block.
Chanel Wimberly denied.
Definitely a good approach for Chanel Wimberly. I give it up to number 8, Lauren Edwards. She was there right there on that middle hitter. She pressed well. It just went right back over.
Solo block too, very impressive. 19-7's your score. Renaissance trying to win this set and take a 2-0 lead. Canada gonna set it for Basil. Cass playing with a little more fire, a little more organized currently, and that's out of play. Jamie Smith tried to shoot that seam on the far end and just missed.
What we're seeing now on defense from Cass is Miriam Hurtado Medina. It looks like she's running that back line better. So they're getting more touches when Renaissance is attacking the ball.
Renaissance needs 5 to take set 2, make it 4. Service ace right past Miriam Hurtado Medina. That's a floater that just died as soon as it got to the other side of the net.
Yep, right in between those two passers. You always want to serve those seams. Make them talk about them, make them decide whose ball it is.
Strong serve towards the back. Hurtado Medina keeps it in. Then Howard. Tip from Robinson. Here comes Cass. To the middle. Overpass. How about Renaissance? Doing everything they can, and the point goes to Cass. Lauren Edwards.
Almost. Quick few plays across the net, back and forth. Got a dig from Samantha Robinson. Looks like Chanel Wimberly put it up, and then Lauren Edwards goes over with the tip, and Chanel just doesn't press over the net, so the ball comes over on her side.
Technicians are fighting. Find themselves still down by 13 points. To serve, Kennedy Hobson.
They need a run here.
That was too strong. Keeping it in play was Kiara Johnson. Two-hand to the middle. Howard's there. Now a setup. Swing, out of play. Was there a tip? Cass wants one, but there is not.
Oh, it looks like they called a touch. Maybe the line judge got a touch. They're giving Cass Tech that point in the ball.
To switch it on the scoreboard.
Definitely did look like a touch as we see the replay.
Yeah.
Yep, looks like a touch from number 7, Raquel Canada.
Another point for Cass. Amina Basil there. Could not roll it on the other side off the tape. And here come the technicians, even if they don't win this set, still trailing by 11. It's good momentum heading into the third.
Definitely. And here we had no touch, top of the tape.
Serving is Kennedy Hobson towards the back again, and an ace. Lewis Mitchell frustrated with his group, and what a run.
I can definitely see why Coach Mitchell would be upset because those past 2 serves have been out of bounds, and they're still playing it.
100% agree with you. Kiara Johnson has let those stay in play when they've been too strong.
Yep, and it looks like Kennedy Hobson made the adjustment, and she went back to the wall to serve that one.
Potential block cannot be had. Another point for the technicians.
Lauren Edwards has come alive in this second set towards the end of it. She's been blocking. She's gotten some kills. She's playing smarter at the net.
5 straight points for Cass. 21-12. That's out of play, and Kiara Johnson's going to let that one go, as that was beyond the Wayne State logo.
Definitely. I don't think anybody would have been able to play that one.
I get the ones that are very dicey on the back line there. It's tough to know if the ball's going to die farther out than short, but that one definitely was too strong. Back to a 10-point lead for Rennie.
Yep. We have a saying where we say, if it's waist high, let it fly. If you're back deep and it's above your waist, you got to just let it go. Looks like we got a kill on the outside with number 4, Mariah Jackson.
It's a great swing from Mariah.
Got a sign up there. Big swing. She goes right on the outside of the right side blocker on Cass Tech.
Here comes Amina Basil on the serve. 2 points away from taking set 2. Cass went on a little bit of a run. Renaissance trying to put a stop to it. There's Mariah Jackson on the swing. 2-hand dump. Tip back one more time for Hobson. And she'll find it. Lauren Edwards again. She's all over it.
Yep. If Lauren Edwards starts off the game like this, it would have been a different game. Now they're coming from behind, having to play catch-up.
That's impressive. Her body's moving to the near side. She crosses her hand and sends it to the far. Wow. That's court vision and athleticism right there at its finest.
Definitely. Volleyball is a pretty athletic sport.
Raquel Canada had the swing there. Too close to the net. Cass can't figure it out there. 24-13 set point. And that was all on the set right there. That came from Kennedy Hobson, just too close to the antenna and the net.
When you're out of system, you want to make sure that when you're sending balls to the front row, they're not that tight. It's harder to follow those balls forward.
Renaissance trying to take a 2-0 lead. Robinson to set it up. Raquel Canada for the set. Overpass. Back to Johnson. Another setup for Canada. Roll shot to the middle. Back out of play, and Renaissance leads 2-0.
Cass Tech should go out of this set, forget about the first 2 sets. They still potentially can have 5 sets. They just got to come out with the energy that they had at the end of the second set.
Yeah, they really put some pedal on the gas there towards the end of the second. Just too little, too late. 25-13, your score at the end of the second set. Renaissance up 2, trying to win another PSL championship. We'll be back on the Prep.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Supino Pizzeria, your go-to destination for New York-style pizza. Visit our flagship located in the historic Eastern Market or on Woodward in Milwaukee at our new center location. Come by for a slice at Supino Pizzeria. Renaissance leads it 2-0 here in our PSL championship. They took it 25-15 and 25-13. Complete domination from Lewis Mitchell's group once again. Alongside Kia Chambers, Tom Cavanaugh, we are set for set 3. And Cass Tech needs to make an adjustment somehow like they did late in set 2.
Definitely. If they don't, then we'll be done in 3.
It would be the second straight year that Renaissance cleans it up in a sweep over Cass Tech. Renaissance got out to a 5-0 start. They were up 11-1. And then later they were up 21-13 or 21-8, I should say. A little bit of a run from Cass. Turned it into a little bit of a contest, down by 8 points. And then Renaissance really turned on the gas. I mean, Lewis Mitchell didn't call a timeout, but he did so with his eyes by looking at his team. And he let them know, hey, this is where you get serious and win set 2.
Definitely. I feel like when you've been coaching that long, you are able to say things without saying them. And your team knows, especially when you have a few veterans on the court, they know what coach is thinking. So they're able to go ahead and let the girls know that as well so that the coach doesn't even have to say it. Got Autumn Howard coming in the game to lib again.
She's on the floor with Kennedy Hobson. Jamie Smith, Tiana Matthews, and then also John A. Swift. And on the far side, that's number 8, Lauren Edwards. Cass will get it first out of the serve. Robinson with the bump set, gotta get it over there. That was Brooklyn Williams that does. Clean slate, third set. Cass has to win it to stay alive. Set up by Robinson. Big swing from Williams. Instead, it's a tip, and it's point 1 of the set going to the Phoenix.
Way to switch it up. Renaissance has been swinging a lot. Go in, go for the tip. They're not ready for the tip because they're so used to you swinging.
So was I. I was ready for her to take a crack at it, and instead fakes out the blockers and tips one on. Samantha Robinson that time serving. Two-hand to that short corner. Kiara Johnson's all over it. And now Basil gets a little partial block on her attack. Set up. Tiana Matthews blocked. She somehow gets it over with a waist-high grab. And Cass again pinballing around, finally getting it over. Brooklyn Williams, another tip to the middle.
Autumn Howard has kind of come alive with her playing defense.
Out of play on Cass, 2-0 Rennie.
Looks like Jamie Smith swings that ball just a little far out. She was aiming for the corner, which is a good spot to go, though.
That's a good example of a point where Renaissance is exhausting Cass Tech. I mean, they were running all over the floor, 2 or 3 different attacks that the Phoenix had. And on that last one, the fatigue set in, and they misfired on the accuracy.
Definitely.
Tiana Matthews again, this time not by much, but out of play, straight back. I like her taking those swings, but when you're down 2-0 in a situation like this, down 3-0 in the third, you got to take a little different of approach, whether it's take a little bit off of that swing or find ways for Renaissance to make a mistake.
Yeah, you definitely got to find the open spots on the court. I'm sure everyone is communicating to them what's open, and then you just got to put it there.
Brooklyn Williams this time, she'll go for a big swing. It's tooled out of play off of Cass, and it's 4-0.
Just got to adjust that block. Whoever is that outside or that post blocker, yep, looks like Tiana Matthews was just pointed towards the side bleachers. You got to point your body and your outside arm into the court.
Well done from Howard to get there off the first touch. Here's a setup. Amina Basil goes for the far corner, and Janae Swift lets it get by her fingers. Second straight set here, Kia, where the Renaissance Phoenix lead 5-0.
Yeah, they take off early. They're focused on getting points and not letting anything hit the floor and cleaning up everything. You see, at this point, both sides are hustling because Renaissance wants a repeat and Cass wants to win a city championship.
Roll shot, far side, touched by Robinson. Unable to get there was Kiara Johnson. And that's what you were talking about right there earlier, Kia, is the fact that that first touch has to be higher, not only on serve receives, but on something like that right there. Johnson a little bit out of place, but also a little bit higher of a first touch, gets her there in time.
Yeah, even some of her teammates can help out. I think sometimes when you do have out-of-system ball set to where the lib takes that out-of-system ball, if she's not going to make it, you have to go ahead and take it just so that you won't lose that point.
Kind of that proactive, I guess, play there when you see your libero's not in the right position, step in, make the play. And if 2 people are there and she does recover, great.
Definitely.
And you have 2 instead of nobody.
Because the ball still is up that way.
6-1 after the service error on Cass.
Okay, back row attack.
Wow. Swift keeps it in the air. So does Howard. Janae's got to get it over, and she does. Well done by Janae Swift. Set up here. Brooklyn Williams misses deep. And are they asking for a touch? Point Renaissance. They get it.
Looks like the line judge on the side of Renaissance called for the touch. Not sure who touched that ball, though. Doesn't look like anybody touched it, just from our vantage point and from that preview.
It would have been Tiana Matthews, if anybody. Her hand was the closest, but I agree with you. It looked like it split all 4 hands.
And sometimes that's why they just tell the girls to say touch. Sometimes the line judges will be persuaded to think that they saw a touch, and that just seems like what happened here.
7-1 after that point is reversed. Basil again serving deep. Howard, sky high, first touch. Swift gets it over. Robinson to set it up. Williams to the middle, that's good. Brooklyn Williams has been the star in this one, splitting the defense with that last kill, and she's doing it in a couple of different ways.
Yeah, a lot of Renaissance teams are. Right now they're playing very balanced. They have kills coming from front row, back row, middle hitters, outside hitters, right side hitters. Everyone's doing their part.
Huge block in front right there from Amia Coates along with Lauren Edwards. Got to get it over as Williams. 8-1 ready, third set, they lead by 2. Here's a block and a point for the Phoenix. Give that one to number 4, Mariah Jackson, the sophomore. And you look at a lot of the impact players here, Kia. You got Mariah Jackson, a sophomore. You got Raquel Canada, a freshman. Brooklyn Williams, a sophomore. I know this is more of a veteran group, but their impact players today have shown up. It's been the younger group.
Definitely, that means that they have a couple more years to really show them what they got. And we got another kill from Mariah Jackson. She's just on fire. They got to find a way to stop her.
And coaching over at Henry Ford, I mean, I was able to call some of your games this year with Mott and Macomb. That looks like some collegiate level hitting right there from Mariah Jackson.
Definitely does, and she's only a sophomore, so she still has a couple more years to grow. Looks like she's able to read when it's outside the block, or if she needs to go inside the block. She's doing a great job on the outside.
10-1. Lewis Mitchell's squad is firing on all cylinders, in big part for Mariah Jackson, who's had the last couple of points, Brooklyn Williams, Raquel Canada, and we got to give credit to a couple of the setters as well. Kiara Johnson, the libero, and Samantha Robinson for setting them up.
Definitely. Everyone is doing their part right now. Looks like Coach Mitchell is letting his assistant coaches talk to the girls right now. They're doing everything that they're supposed to do. Whatever their plan was, it looks like they're executing their plan great right now.
I mentioned those assistants for Rennie. It's Erlander Taylor, Christoria Collins, Mercedes Parker, and Anaya Green.
Yep. I know Mercedes Parker very well. We played club together growing up.
She's coaching up that team. That's got a 9-point lead, a 2-set lead. Trying to sweep the Technicians once again, which they did earlier this year and last season in this same event. Calling for it, Hobson, but a little miscommunication with Matthews sends that over the scores table.
Yeah. As a setter, you definitely want to get every second ball that you can, but just some second balls you got to allow somebody else to get, especially if you're going to be chasing it down.
Basil, a strong service, much too far. And the first service error of the set for Rennie makes it 11-2.
Yep. And let's see what Cass comes back with, how they're going to respond here.
Amia Coates. Floater serve towards the front. Nice dig out by Basil. Set up here. Brooklyn Williams tooled out of play off the antenna. Another point for the Phoenix goes to Brooklyn.
Yep. Just that outside blocker. You got to turn your body inside the court.
Brooklyn's making an early case for G-Brand USA Player of the Game, along with Mariah Jackson. We'll have that post-game for whoever comes out and wins this PSL championship. Kiara Johnson on the service. Here's a setup for Swift, gets it over. And out of position, Samantha Robinson. Mariah Jackson tapping her chest, saying, "My bad." That was her ball right there as Swift finds a point.
And those are the things that you want in a team when they're able to acknowledge, hey, that was my fault. And then there's no more conversation about it.
Yep.
You know and trust your teammate that they're going to get it that next time.
And that's the thing you want to see is pointing fingers. It's just not how Coach Mitchell runs his program and not how these girls have been taught or played pretty much all year long. Who's this point going to, Renaissance?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to find the line judge. It looks like the point is going to Cass Tech. Renaissance attacked it out of bounds.
Okay. I think they thought there might have been a late touch from Edwards on that last swing.
Yeah, I know the R1 wasn't able to tell, so he looked down at the line judge and waited for her response.
Robinson sets up Mariah Jackson.
Mariah Jackson right now is putting on an outside hitting clinic. As an outside hitter, you got to be able to hit different shots. You got to hit line, you got to hit deep cross, short cross, roll shots. She's been doing all of that tonight. That one inside the middle blocker's arm to fall inside.
She's been playing incredible so far tonight. One of just two sophomores on this Renaissance team, the other one Brooklyn Williams, and they both made a huge impact today. 13-4, third set. John-A Swift is blocked out of play on the tool. Point goes to Cass.
Jayla Turner with that block that went out of bounds. You can see her, she's right there.
The hands, though.
Yep, they weren't as sturdy. We always tell our blockers to put their shoulders to their ears to press over.
A little bit slanted towards outside. And the line violation on the service. Lauren Edwards creeping up on that back line. Immediate whistle, and it's 14-5.
Yep, a foot fault. This isn't where we want to be missing serves. It doesn't allow you to get a chance to get any momentum going.
Jackson will serve. This is in the middle for Renaissance, calling for it. That was Raquel Canada off the fingers of Howard, out of play. Renaissance, another point. They go up by 10 once again.
And that one may have went out. Just if you look at how high it is, and Autumn Howard jumps pretty high to get it, it may have gone out if she had to just let it go.
It's all about those quick decisions, those millisecond decisions when you're trying to figure out if it's going to stay in or out. Yep. Nice dig. Well done by Kiara Johnson. Here's a set and a swing. Kelsey Green. First time on the floor today, and she finds a kill.
As a coach, that's got to feel good when you sub a girl in and she goes and does what she's supposed to do.
The senior outside hitter goes cross court, tips off the blocker fingers, and Howard had no chance. Largest lead of the set, up by 11. Make it 12. That's off the back of the hands of Vivian Walker.
And it's just serve receive really right now.
It's been I'd say more so on Renaissance because it's been Amia Coates, Vivian Walker, Hurtado Medina. Several of the Cass Tech players have had trouble with these serves.
Definitely. A lot of Renaissance serves are going flat and deep.
Cass can't get it over. That first touch went off the shoulders of Vivian Walker. That was a strong serve towards the back again. And I guess the decision-making for a lot of those balls on the backside, near the back line, they've just not gone in Cass's favor. They have made the wrong decisions on a lot of those.
Definitely.
We'll step aside. It's 18-5. Renaissance controlling set 3. They're looking to sweep and win another PSL championship here at Wayne State. We'll be back for the end of the third on the Prep.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Kia Chambers, Tom Cavanaugh from the Prep here at Wayne State University for the PSL Championship once again between Detroit Renaissance and Detroit Cass Tech. There's Lewis Mitchell trying to coach his team up to yet another championship in Detroit. He went 10-0 in the regular season in the city, looking to make it 11 straight for the season and win it all. 18-5 is your score. Here's a setup. John A. Swift to the back corner. Ariana Malloy is now in the game, and a little bit deep is Mariah Jackson on that swing. Cass Tech's got a long way to go, and it's got to start right there.
Yep. They got to focus in and get a run here. They don't have time to continue to play around.
They have to go on a 19-7 run, or less than that, a 19-6 run, really. Rolls up over. Nice play from look-to-be Kennedy Hobson, and that's out of bounds. Back-to-back points for the Technicians out of the timeout.
That's one, and they just got to take it 1 point at a time.
Swift still to serve. It was Detroit Western who won the Consolation third-place game earlier today, and Kelsey Green, the senior, comes up a little short on that attack. Swift to the middle back. Here's a setup. Strong swing. That was number 1, Ariana Malloy, who takes it back on the bump set. Now Kelsey Green. What a dig from John A. Swift. Unable to keep it up. It's out of play near the scores table.
And it looks like it was just a commotion with the middle Jamie Smith and Kennedy Hobson when it came to her trying to set that ball. Ball went up, And, yeah, Jamie just got stuck in transition. Sometimes in the middle, they step in the way of the setter, and that's what ends up happening.
And Johnny did all she could to keep that in the air. You can't blame her for not putting that high enough because she was able to go down and just grab that off the kill from Green, or the near kill, I should say. 19-8's the score. Swift, she'll find a kill point. Roll shot to the middle.
Nice job from John A. Smith. Trying to do something just to get her team rolling, just to get some points on the board.
She's been all over the floor today. So has Vivian Walker working that back line. Lauren Edwards has been really the star for Cass Tech today. Little set on a free ball to the opposite side. Renaissance trying to pick up a point as Kelsey Green goes short into the net. 2 kills, 2 attack errors, I should say, for Green off the bench. It's now 19-10. Cass Tech libero Autumn Howard on the serve. Easy point for Raquel Canada.
Nice tip. And when you have a left-handed setter, it's even easier for them to get those tips and not telegraph them. She took both hands up and then just, you'll see here, she took both hands up and then just dropped it down with that right hand. I mean, that left hand.
That was sweet. And peripherally, out of her eye, knows that the middle of that defense is completely open, the donut as they call it, and she just smacks it right in there. Back up by 10. And Renaissance, they can taste it 5 points away from another PSL championship, but they commit a service error. That's from Mariah Jackson.
Looks like we have, is that number 13 for Cass Tech? Looks like Sadie from Cass Tech checked into the game. Miss serve. Renaissance has 4 points to go until they win the city championship again.
21-11. It's just too little too late in the last 2 sets for Cass. They put together a strong rally at the end of 2, but they were trailing at the time 21-8, so did not have much of a chance to climb all the way back in it. Looking for a miracle comeback here. What a block and a point, Mariah Jackson. She comes up big alongside Amir Dodson.
Mariah Jackson has been great tonight. She's been blocking, she's been swinging, definitely been showing her versatility.
Alexandra Hurst will come in out of the contest now as Samantha Robinson. She has to have at least 15 to 20 assists in this game alone. Basil to serve towards the corner. Nowhere near it was Autumn Howard. 23-11, and we're nearing the end of this one.
Think about serve receive, especially when girls are serving those fast float balls. You got to identify it early. You can't take the time to when it gets on your side of the net. You got to start identifying it while it's still on the opponent's side.
Howard's got to get it over, and she does. Here comes the setup for Hurst. Roll shot off a Swift from Howard.
Good thing Kennedy Hobson knew that was 2 attempts, and they had to get it over.
Huge block right there from Tiana Matthews. Back over to Hurst. She gets the first touch. Bump set here from Johnson. Up and over. Mariah Jackson couldn't finish. Matthews will try the same thing. Kiara Jackson kept that in play. It was out of play.
Jackson swings again.
Too close to the net on the set. And a point to Renaissance. Match point, 23-11. Renaissance, 1 point away from another PSL championship. And here comes the crowd.
Let's see who's gonna get this.
Got the camera shaking and everything. Amina Basil on the service, getting it over Hobson. Here's Johnson, Hurst with the setup. Mariah Jackson to finish. Point Cass Tech.
It's a little long by Mariah Jackson.
Still doubling up the score are the Phoenix. No harm, no foul. Mariah Jackson, a big candidate for G of the game, will come out in now. Shawnee Harris. Kiara Johnson directing traffic for her group. Hurst gets there. Got to get it over. That was Amir Dodson out of play, and Cass Tech wins another point. This is a lot of a secondary group here for Renaissance to finish it off, but also good that they're doing so. A lot of seniors in this group right now on the floor in their final PSL championship.
Definitely. And they still have districts within the next week.
Back row hit from Amina Basil.
Let's see what Cass Tech can do and see how they're going to go down. It hits the ceiling.
That's the match. Detroit Renaissance wins another PSL championship here at Wayne State.
In convincing fashion as well.
You're right about that. 25-13. The end of 3. Head coach Lewis Mitchell garners another championship. The Hall of Fame coach in his 35th season takes down his former player Ramona Cox and the technicians for another year. Unbelievable. I mean, this is a team that just dominates the Detroit City League, the PSL, and they do it once again. They take down Detroit Western they took down Academy of Americas the other day, and they come out here on a Monday night and handle business against Cass.
Definitely. Let's hope that they keep this momentum going when they go into the district tournament to see how far they can go.
Your final scores at the end of 3, 25-15, 25-13, and once again, 25-13, Detroit Renaissance, the Phoenix. They take the PSL championship for another year under Lewis Mitchell. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back with our G of the game from G Brand here on The Prep. Thanks so much.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Every morning when I rise, my dream lives in me. This is my kingdom, a wonder world that's always changing, where great champions stand victorious. Here, we celebrate what makes us different. We share our creativity, and we grow stronger, preparing for the world we will make together.
I am.
I am one of Detroit's next legends. It's our time to rise.
From an ordinary idea comes a great journey. It all starts with a simple thought, a vision of something bigger, greater than what already exists. It's that spark that ignites the passion and drive to create something truly amazing. At G Brand, we understand this journey well. We take pride in the details and perfecting every aspect of the process, regardless of how small or big they may be. Because it's more than just a design or a shirt. It's about outfitting future champions. There's something to be said about a team coming together, each member contributing their unique skills, talents, and ideas. It's that collective effort that takes a simple idea and turns it into something truly great. The process can be excruciating, with countless hours spent tirelessly reviewing every detail. But the end result is pure and so rewarding, knowing that we've created something that will inspire greatness in those who wear it. Whether they come from a savage land or a booming metropolis, whether their numbers are 2 or 2 billion, the greatest their numbers could ever become is truly to become one. That's why at G Brand, we're more than just a clothing company. We're a movement, a community of like-minded individuals who believe in the power of coming together to make a difference. So join us on this journey as we strive to outfit future champions and inspire greatness in all that we do. G Brand. Now that's game.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, wait. Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Welcome back in on the prep. Huge sweep and another PSL championship for Detroit Renaissance, the Phoenix. And we have our G-Brand USA player of the game with us here. It's Mariah Jackson, sophomore here with the Phoenix. Mariah, you were incredible today. We watched your entire game on display. Talk a little bit about you being that outside hitter that was just dominating cross-court kills all day long. You mixed it up with some touches at times to fool out the defense. Talk about your play today a little bit.
It was really fun, like playing with a team that you bond with. It's like, okay, I love y'all, and like, yeah. So like just being with the team that you can connect with and like being able to coordinate everything, it helps playing. Like It makes it easier to play on the court. instead of like, having teammates that's like, okay, I don't really know what to do. But yeah, playing with them is really fun.
Hey, talk about that team too, because I mean, along with several seniors and juniors, you have a sophomore in Brooklyn Williams. You have Raquel Canada, a freshman. This is more of a younger group when it comes to the really impact players of the team. Can you speak on what it's like, just a younger group in your first 2 years of high school volleyball and being able to make an impact and win another city championship?
Yeah, so playing with people that's young, it's like, okay, we are different, but like it's really like, okay, I don't know how to put it in words. It's just like we all have that momentum and we all have that energy.
Yeah.
So it's like it's easier to like, play around with each other. And having like RQ as a freshman, she's a setter. It's like, okay, you got 3 years left, and we all coming up, we helping you, and like it just makes everything more fun playing.
And playing for Coach Mitchell as well.
Oh,
35th
yes.
season. This guy has been around Detroit volleyball for a long, long time. I feel like he had a conversation with you guys nearing the end of that second set. Cass tried to make a little bit of a comeback,
yes,
but he shut that down quickly, and you guys refocused.
Yes.
Yeah, he was. I mean, just talk about, I guess, his impression on you guys throughout your first 2 years.
Coach Mitchell is really proud of us. Like at practice, he helps us a lot, and like we really work on a lot of things. That's really why we are where we are now, because what he puts in. Like at practice, he be on us, and like we get it together. And especially at games, he speaks so highly of us, and he wants us to do our best. So like we just proved to him that we could do it.
Awesome. And you guys obviously take another PSL championship for, I don't even, the 15th, 16th time in the last 20 years, something like that crazy. But moving on to districts now, you guys just moved to 25-10. You finish 11-0 in the PSL, but you guys want more from this season, because what we saw today, and you felt this way as well, I'm guessing, this is a very talented group.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah. So going forward, districts, regionals, states, what's the expectation going into playoffs?
We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna stay at our level, and we're gonna make sure that we stay together so that we can keep it together and just win. Like we have to win everything.
Yep. I love that mentality. Mariah, thank you so much. Guys, Mariah Jackson, the sophomore player of the game, G-Brand player of the game, here in a 3-0 sweep over Cass Tech. Detroit Renaissance gets it done and wins yet another PSL championship. We'll be back in just a moment for highlights with Kia Chambers on the back end here on the Prep.
Take a look at us right now. We are everything that will be. We are an engine of progress that has been forged by generations, driven by the knowledge that each student in every classroom has the potential to be their best self and inspire us all. We are teachers, parents, families, all ready to do our part. We know when students rise, we all rise. We are Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Welcome back inside Mathai Center at Wayne State University. Alongside Kia Chambers, Tom Cavanaugh. Glad you were along with us today for a full-packed day of volleyball. Kia, we saw Detroit Western take it in 4 sets. They got a big win for 3rd place, but more impressive, Detroit Renaissance are really taking it to Cass Tech in 3 sets.
Yeah, definitely. Renaissance just came in and they got the job done. They were kicking on all parts. Everybody knew what their role was, and they just executed it. And Cass Tech wasn't able to come out with the win.
No, I mean, you just look all around the board. We already just talked with Mariah Jackson, but there were so many names that we could have picked from for the G of the game, because it was just such a multifaceted group, so much scoring around the entire floor. And got to give a lot of credit to Kiara Johnson, Samantha Robinson, the 2 setters that really made everybody else look good today.
Yeah, definitely. They were key pieces of the game. Kiara Johnson, she was able to get that ball up. She played the libero position great. And Samantha Robinson, knowing who to set, when to set, as well as chasing those balls down whenever she needed to.
I want to give a huge thank you to our entire crew tonight. Executive producer Alex Westfall, on the replay Evan Westfall, our audio man Sam Fisher, on the graphics Rob Hunter, and our 3 cameramen Kyle Buchanan, Corey Easterling, and DeAndre Pruitt. From Kia Kia Chambers. I'm Tom Cavanaugh saying so long from the Math Ice Center at Wayne State University. Detroit Western takes the Consolation for third place, and Detroit Renaissance in 3 wins over Cass Tech yet again. Head coach Lewis Mitchell and his squad going home with another city championship.